everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Woodbine Racing Live. My name is Mark McKelvey, and here tonight we are building up to the big Saturday night that we will be having this week at Woodbine Mohawk Park. It is the Mohawk Million, Canada's richest night of racing, over $3.5 million in purses, and the two richest races on that card, the Mohawk Million, obviously for $1 million, and the Metro Pace for $970,000. It's going to feature the best and brightest young stars in our sport, and here tonight we're going to draw the post positions for those events. My name is Mark McKelvey. Once again, thanks so much for joining us on this Monday evening. To my right, and in just a moment, I will introduce our special guests who are here to conduct the post position draws for the Million and the Metro. We've got Racing Secretary Tony O'Sullivan and Assistant Racing Secretary Jim Gillespie. But as mentioned, the Mohawk Million, it's a race that now is already into its fourth year. A unique concept. You buy slots to get in this race. Unlike really any other race we have in harness racing, there are 9 slots available for purchase, each $100,000. The 10th slot in the race, well, it went to the winner of the William Wellwood Memorial. So we knew one horse going into today that for sure will be competing in this year's Million. The others, well, we had to wait and find out this afternoon, but the list is in. We now know the 10 horses that will be starting in the Mohawk Million. Without further ado, let's meet the field. And as mentioned, we're going to kick things off with the winner of the William Wellwood Memorial. That is TCI for trainer Ron Burke. He has been absolutely dominant this season. He has 8 wins in 9 starts, a mark of 154-1, taken right here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Already over $760,000 earned. He won the Wellwood, he was the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes champion, and most recently, just the other night at Hoosier Park, he won the Peter Houghton. David Miller will drive as TCI will compete in the spot that was designated to the winner of the William Wellwood Memorial. So now we find out the 9 other horses that will be competing in this year's Mohawk Million, and we're going to kick things off first with Griff for trainer Murray Breather. He'll be racing in the spot owned by Courant. Now this is a muscle mass rookie who will be driven on Saturday night by James McDonald. 2 wins in 4 starts, a mark of 154-4. An OSS Gold winner is Griff. Jeff and Lori Thompson, along with Murray Breather and Kyle Northover, are the owners. And there you see Griff had a stunning rallying score to get that gold title that we mentioned, and now we'll get a crack at racing history competing in this year's Mohawk Million. Next up, we are going to meet Security Protected. Now this son of Father Patrick will race in the slot owned by Écurie CSL, that's Sylvain Deschanel. Trained by Marcus Melander and to be driven on Saturday night by Tim Tetrick, Security Protected has 3 wins in 6 starts, a mark of 155-4, over $200,000 earned, a Pennsylvania Sire Stakes Division winner who was second to TCI in the Pennsylvania final and was 3rd in the Peter Houghton this past Friday night at Hoosier Park. The next horse we're going to meet, the first of 2 for Determination. Determination had 2 slots in this year's race. The first one's going to go to Emoji Hanover. Now, this filly, did she ever dazzle last week when she won a division of the Champlain, 154-2. She races for Determination, trained by Luke Blais. The driver on Saturday night will be Bob McClure. 2 for 3, as mentioned, a Champlain winner, very well bred, just as you'd expect with those Determination fillies. And I say fillies because both slots are going to go to the girls. Their other starter for Determination is going to be Drawn Impression, this year's Peaceful Way Stakes winner. Boy, is she ever talented. She's undefeated in 3 starts. She has a mark of 154 flat, over $236,000 in earnings, and she looks like something really, really special. Now, Drawn Impression was actually scratched out of last Thursday Champlain Stakes, but she'll look to come back at 100% this Saturday night. The driver will be Louis-Philippe Roy to sit behind Drawn Impression. So speaking of fillies, we've already know there's going to be 2 competing for trainer Luke Blais. You can add another one, Allegiant. This daughter of Tactical Landing will be racing in the spot for Hunterton Farms and Partners. Of course, Hunterton Farms and Partners were successful in last year's edition of the Mohawk Million. This 2-year-old filly is trained by Vernon Beachy. Scott Zeron will be in the sulky. She has 5 wins in 9 starts, very well traveled. She went down to the Kentucky Sire Stakes at Oak Grove, won that event, went back to New Jersey, won some Sire Stakes divisions, and then yesterday she raced in the Kentucky Sire Stakes Championship, where she did finish 4th at the Red Mile. The next horse we're going to meet, coming up here now, is going to be Tennessee Tom. Tennessee Tom races for trainer Ron Burke. Chris Page to drive. This is the Ohio Sire Stakes champion. Races in the slot for fellow Buckeye Greg Luther. So a lot of those connections there. Chris Page is obviously one of the top and dominant drivers in that state. Greg Luther is going to hand this spot over to trainer Ron Burke, the Ohio Sire Stakes champion who has 5 wins and 8 starts. Tennessee Tom will race in the Mohawk Million. The next horse we're going to meet is Top Mass. Gino Toscani has 2 slots in this year's event, and his first starter will be Top Mass, a son of Walner, trained by Desiree Jones, will be driven by Travis Cullen. 3 wins in 8 starts, a mark of 156-4, over $81,000 earned. Most recently was 3rd in a Champlain Stakes division, competed in the Wellwood final, and won a leg of the Millard Farms back in August. So Top Mass takes the first spot for Gino Toscani. The driver, as mentioned, will be Travis Cullen this Saturday night. The other Toscani spot is going to go to Tactical Strike, another filly. There you go. How about that? Tactical Strike, a tactical landing. Gino Toscani owns, Desiree Jones trains, and Gino Toscani will do the driving on Saturday night. 1 win in 5 starts, competed in the Peaceful Way final. Most recently was 3rd in a division of the Champlain. So there you got it. Top Mass and Tactical Strike to compete in the Million for Gino Toscani. Now we have one other horse to meet, and that will be the horse competing in the spot that is owned by Anthony Lombardi, and that is going to go to a horse by the name of Show Me. We'll get to Show Me in just a second. Races for Andy and Julie Miller. Show Me is owned by Andy Miller Stable, Daniel and Jean-Christophe Plouffe, and One Legend Stable. This is a son of Chapter 7 who has 1 win in 6 starts, a mark of 153-4, and over $78,000 in earnings. And guess what? Show Me got that first win today in the Commonwealth final down at the Red Mile. So here you go, bringing this right to you almost instantaneously from earlier today. Show Me was successful, went on to victory, and that's the next horse we are going to meet. So that will be the field for this year's Mohawk Million. We've now got all 10 names listed, and in just a second, we're going to find out where everyone's going to start. As mentioned, I've got Tony O'Sullivan and Jim Gillespie to my right. And gentlemen, this is going to be a really fun night of racing. I know it's been a great stretch of racing over the last several weeks, and for you guys, it's been very busy. But I'm sure it's rewarding when you're putting together cards like this, when you get the best of the best coming into town. And of course, our local stars, they've certainly been able to shine bright as of late. So gentlemen, let's get things started. Jim, you've got the names of the 10 horses there. You're going to put them in the box. Tony, you've got all 10 Ps already in the trophy there. So Jim to pull a name, Tony to pull a number, and we'll see where everyone starts on Saturday night for the Mohawk Million. So Jim, go ahead. TCI, the Wellwood winner. Post position number 8 for TCI. David Miller will drive for trainer Ron Burke, the winner of the Wellwood. So impressive this season, just 1 blemish on his record, 8 wins in 9 starts, the Wellwood winner, the Pennsylvania final champion, the Peter Houghton winner the other night. And by winning the Peter Houghton, he actually also secured a spot in the Breeders' Crown. So he's been winning his way in to some of the sport's biggest races. So TCI, first one up. Allegiant. Post position number 3 for Allegiant. Vernon Beachy trains. Scott Zeron will do the driving. I've mentioned just how well-traveled this rookie has been. Started things down at Oak Grove, came back to the Meadowlands to race in the New Jersey Sire Stakes, then now back down to Lexington, was 4th in the Kentucky Sire Stakes Championship yesterday, and now she'll continue to travel the roads, making her way up here to Woodbine Mohawk Park for this Saturday night's Mohawk Million. So number 3 is Allegiant, races in the spot of Hunterton Farms and Partners. Jim? Tennessee Tom. Post position number 6 for Tennessee Tom. Another Ron Burke trainee, the Ohio Sire Stakes champion. It's been very impressive this season. His connections were certainly proud to announce the other night that they would be coming to the Mohawk Million. Chris Page will do the driving, continues to have a great run, does Chris Page, as he continues to climb the ranks. We know how much success he's having in the Buckeye State. Big week for all those down in Ohio. And I'm sure for Chris Page, he'll be certainly having in the back of his mind the big drive he's got coming up on Saturday night in the Mohawk Million. Tennessee Tom, post position number 6 for Greg Luther. Security Protected is up next. Post 9 for Security Protected, who will race from the spot owned by Acurie CSL Sylvain Deschanel. This is a 2-year-old son of Father Patrick, trained by Marcus Melander. Tim Tetrick to do the driving, 3 wins and 6 starts. A Pennsylvania Sire Stakes division winner, 2nd in the PA final, 3rd in the Peter Houghton. So post position number 9 for Security Protected. Jim? Show Me is up next. Post position number 7 for Show Me. Andy and Julie Miller, they know all about the Mohawk Million. Of course, Venerate was the winner in the inaugural edition for Team Miller. This is a son of Chapter 7 is Show Me, and as mentioned, already a winner earlier today at the Red Mile. So he'll come back on short rest, but you love it when they've got momentum on their side, breaks through, got that taste of a victory, and now comes to the Mohawk Million with that momentum, as mentioned. Post position number 7 for Show Me, who races in the spot of Anthony Lombardi. Top Mass is up next. Post position number 2 for Top Mass, one of 2 horses racing for Gino Toscani. This one will be driven by Travis Cullen for trainer Desiree Jones. 3 wins and 8 starts. Won a leg of the Millard Farms earlier this year. Just this past Thursday was 3rd in a division of the Champlain. That lone division went for pretty good money. This season has over $81,000 earned. Number 2 is Top Mass. Drawn Impression is next, the Peaceful Way winner. Post position number 5 for Drawn Impression. She is 3 for 3 so far. Her victory in the Peaceful Way was absolutely spectacular. And as mentioned, we didn't get to see her last Thursday night in the Champlain, but it looks like all systems are go for this Saturday night. Louis Waugh driving for trainer Luke Blais, owner Determination. They've got 2 spots in here. And the first one, Drawn Impression, will start from post position number 5. Tactical Strike is up next. The rail for Tactical Strike, so that means the Toscani starters are going to start side by side. Tactical Strike is a daughter of Tactical Landing. She's got 1 win in 5 starts, did race in the Peaceful Way final, was 3rd in a division of the Champlain this past Thursday, 26,000 plus in earnings, a mark of 157, and Gino Toscani, who bought 2 slots in this race, he's also going to drive in it as he will steer Tactical Strike from post position number 1. Griff is up next. Post position number 4 for Griff, an Ontario Sire Stakes Gold winner for trainer Murray Breather. James McDonald listed to do the driving. And for Griff, 2 wins in 4 starts. 154-4 is his career best and is a son of Muscle Mass. And we will see that one leave from post position number 4. So as we get to the end here, that means we got 1 horse left and 1 spot left. And that's going to go to Emoji Hanover. Emoji Hanover. Post position number 10. So for those that were waiting for their name to be called, obviously they were certainly having to sweat it out to not try and land that 10 hole. Unfortunately for the connections of Emoji Hanover, that being Team Determination, going to have to try and overcome that outside starting spot, but she turned in a beautiful performance on Thursday night to win a division of the Champlain in 154-2, $58,000 in earnings, 2 for 3. Bob McClure will do the driving behind the Luke Blais trainee. So there is the field for this year's edition of the Mohawk Million. We've got a field of 10 2-year-old trotters all set. Best of luck to all the connections. More on that race coming up in just a bit. But it is now time to turn our focus to the Metro Pace. The Metro Pace is annually one of the marquee events, not just in our sport, but of course for 2-year-olds. $970,000 is a purse this year, one of the largest purses we've seen in over a decade, and it's going to be a fantastic race. You've got standouts coming in from different parts. You've got a local here by the name of Legendary Hanover, who's undefeated. Clever Cody, the Ohio Sire Stakes champion, came back to where it all began in a couple of baby races back in June and turned in a beautiful performance to win his elimination. So it's going to be a great race, a field of 10. We had 2 eliminations the other night. Let's go back and take a look at the stretch drives from both of those splits. So we're going to kick things off first with Legendary Hanover. Now, as mentioned, Legendary Hanover is undefeated, 5 for 5 going into his elimination, and he continues his winning ways as he's now 6 for 6. A mark of 150 taken in the Dreammaker earlier this year. He's also won a division of the Nascawaia, the Champlain, and now he won his Metro elimination in 151 flat, and looked like he kind of got shut down late there. Another easy winner. James McDonald drives for trainer Tony Beaton. Owners are Eric Good, Westwind Stable, and Mark Dumaine. A real good performance there from Legendary Hanover to lock up a good starting spot in this Saturday's final. The other elimination, it went to the aforementioned Clever Cody. Dr. Ian Moores had a great run. We saw him win the Canadian Pacing Derby a few weeks back with Tattoo Artist. And then now he's got a beautiful looking 2-year-old here by the name of Clever Cody, who's the son of the Panda Rosa. That's throwing it way back there. The Panda Rosa's got to be about 25, 26 years old. And hey, he's got a great standout here, rookie by the name of Clever Cody. The Ohio Sire Stakes champion comes back home victorious. Sylvain Filion was in the bike for the first time the other night, won 50-4. So there you have the elimination winners. And as I mentioned, by winning those eliminations, they lock up a great starting spot. Post 2 through 6. Those were the spots that were going to be designated in a first draw that we're about to do for those elimination winners. So we've got those names here already. Clever Cody and Legendary Hanover. I got the 2 right here. We'll shuffle them up a little bit and we'll pull one out. And Tony has put numbers 2 through 6 in the trophy there. So Jim, pull the first one. Clever Cody. Post position number 6 for Clever Cody, owned by Clever Cody Stable, son of the Panda Rosa. 6 wins in 9 starts, a mark of 150-4 taken in his elimination. Came home in 26-4. Sylvain Filion to do the driving. So Legendary Hanover will be up next. Post position number 2 for Legendary Hanover, who is 6 for 6 to this point in his career. He is a son of Huntsville, trained by Tony Beaton. James McDonald drives. 6 for 6, as mentioned. $173,000 plus in earnings. Won the Dreammaker final, legs or divisions, I should say, of the Nascawaia and the Champlain. So there you got it. The elimination winners, they're up on the board. Legendary Hanover, post 2. Clever Cody, post 6. All right, the other 8 names have now been put in the box. Here we go. First one out is Lou's World. Post position number 3 for Lou's World, trained by Gary Murner, owned by Gino Toscani. Boy, Gino's going to have a big night on Saturday night. Lots of starters in these rich races. Todd McCarthy does the driving. 3rd in his elimination. Won his mile in 151-2, home in 28 seconds. Winless in 7 starts, has $41,000 in earnings. This is a son of Sweet Lou. Lou's World lands post position number 3. Calico Jack Hanover is next. 10. Post position number 10 for Calico Jack Hanover. Determination and Blay. Tough draws here. We saw them get the 10 hole in the Mohawk Million. Now they get the 10 hole here in the Metro Pace. Son of Captain Treacherous was 5th in his elimination to qualify. Went a mile in 151-4. Kicked home impressively in 26-3. 2 wins in 5 starts. His best finish, you could say, in a stakes event was a 2nd in the Nascawaia. So post 10, Louis Waugh to do the driving. Gem Quality is up next. Post position number 9, so those outside starting spots are coming off the board very quickly. Gem Quality is trained by Chris Ryder. Dexter Dunn did the driving in the elimination, where he did finish 3rd, went his mile in 151-1, final quarter in 27 seconds. 3 wins in 5 starts for this son of Captain Crunch, that fresh stallion, and this rookie has 2 wins at the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes level this season. $76,000 in earnings, a mark of 151-4. Post 9 for Gem Quality. Captain Luke is next. Post position number 4 for Captain Luke, who is a personal favorite, of course, of the broadcast team. It was our producer behind the scenes, Luke Van Belkom, probably rooting him on. And did he ever race well in his elimination to Captain Luke? He charged home in 26-4 to finish 2nd. He's winless, though, in 6 starts. Now would be the time to break through. Trained by Tony Alanya, Dexter Dunn drove him in the elimination. Winless in 6, as mentioned, has a 2nd place finish in the Champlain to his credit. $47,000 in earnings for this son of Captain Treacherous. That's going to be Captain Luke to go from post 4. Storm Shadow is the next horse out. Post position number 5 for Storm Shadow, another rookie that is trained by Dr. Ian Moore. Sylvain Filion did the driving in the elimination, where he finished 4th, went his mile in 151.3, final quarter 27.3, 1 win in 6 starts. Finished 3rd in multiple OSS Gold legs this season, was 4th in a division of the Champlain. This is a son of Better's Delight. Storm Shadow, post 5, the Doc Moore trainees side by side on the gate. Remember the Alamo is next. Post position number 8 for Remember the Alamo, another starter for trainer Tony Alanya. This rookie really turned heads when he burst onto our local scene in a division of the Dreammaker, firing home in just an absurd final quarter speed. 4th in his elimination, paced his mile in 151.1. Kicked home in 26.4, 2 wins in 5 starts, a mark of 151 flat, 75,000 plus in earnings. He did win a division of the Champlain. Remember the Alamo, post 8, Doug McNair to do the driving. Captain's Quarters. Post position number 7 for Captain's Quarters, and I think it's safe to say this is going to be the wise guy horse, although there's really nothing under the radar now about Captain's Quarters, who fired home in his elimination in 25.2, trained by Herb Holland. Jody Jameson in the bike. Jody was victorious in last year's Metro Pace with Stockade Sealster. 2nd in his elim, as mentioned. He's got 1 win in 4 starts, 3rd in a division of the Nassagaweya, 3rd in a division of the Champlain. Captain's Quarters off that hot final quarter, rallying to finish 2nd in his elim, goes from post 7. One name remains, and that is Chain Gang. There you go. The rail starting spot for this son of Better's Delight. For Millar Farms, Nick Gallucci. They've been on a tremendous run over the last few years. Scott Zeron doing the driving with Chain Gang, who we have seen win multiple OSS Gold events this season. He was 2nd in a division of the Champlain. He's got over $145,000 in earnings. Final quarter was 27.4 the other night. 151.3 was his individual mile. 3 wins in 6 starts. Chain Gang gets the rail. So there you have it for the Metro Pace. Chain Gang, Legendary Hanover, Lose World, Captain Luke, Storm Shadow. That's the inside 5. The outside 5 will be Clever Cody, Captain's Quarters, Remember the Alamo, Gem Quality, and Calico Jack Hanover. All right, well, thank you very much, Tony and Jim. Really appreciate you guys sticking around here this evening to do these draws live. It's going to be a fantastic night of live racing this Saturday. It's Canada's richest night of racing. Of course, we've mentioned the Million for $1 million. You've got the $970,000 Metro Pace. Other rich events on the card, the She's a Great Lady, the Canadian Trotting Classic, the Elegant Image. It's going to be an incredible night. The full card will be drawn tomorrow afternoon, released later in the afternoon, so make sure you got your eyes peeled for that. If you're coming out to the track this Saturday night, as always, free admission, free parking. It's going to be a can't-miss night of racing, over $3.5 million in purses up for grabs. First race post time will be 7:10 p.m. We look forward to welcoming you then on Saturday night. But coming up now, time to get you set for this 10-race card. First race post time on this Monday evening is 7:10 p.m. Standing by is the crew to get you all set up for another night of live racing action.